What if I told you that one company controls 92% of the world's most critical resource for AI? And what if I told you that the world's second largest economy is now in an all-out war to break free from this monopoly? This isn't science fiction, people. This is happening right now, and it's reshaping the entire tech world as we know it. Hi, I'm Rishi Panchal, and we're diving deep into what I call the GPU quest. The high-stakes battle between China and Nvidia that could literally split the AI world in two. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll understand why this might be the most important tech story of our time. The Silicon Kingdom. Picture this. One company controlling more of a critical resource than Saudi Arabia controls oil. Let's start with a mind-blowing fact that'll make your jaw drop, right? In the first quarter of 2025, Nvidia shipped 92% of all the world's discrete GPUs. Think about that for a second. 92%. Their closest competitor, AMD, holds just 8%, and Intel, 0. Absolutely zero market share in this space. But here's where it gets really interesting. Nvidia's dominance isn't just about making better chips. No. It's about something much more powerful than that. They've built what I like to call a software empire that took them 2 decades to construct. An ecosystem lock-in. What if I told you that giving something away for free could create the strongest monopoly in tech history? Now here's where Nvidia gets really smart about their strategy, and this is crucial to understand. They don't just sell you the hardware and walk away. Oh no, they give you the CUDA toolkit for free, completely free, and it comes packed with everything a developer could dream of. GPU accelerated libraries, debugging tools, optimization tools, pre-trained AI models, the whole package. This creates what analysts call ecosystem lock-in, and it's absolutely brilliant. The more developers use CUDA, the more tools get built for it, which attracts even more developers. It's a positive feedback loop that has grown into an ecosystem with over 30 million developers worldwide. 30 million. And here's the kicker. All the major AI frameworks that power today's AI revolution, PyTorch, TensorFlow, and JAX, they're all built and heavily optimized to run on CUDA. Some breakthrough algorithms like flash attention, which significantly boosts AI model performance, were specifically designed for Nvidia's hardware. So, when competitors like AMD try to compete, they don't just need to make faster chips. They need to convince the entire global AI community to rebuild their core code on a new platform. And let me tell you, developers are not happy about AMD's alternative ROCm platform. Forums are full of complaints about it being buggy, unstable, and lacking proper documentation. The sanctions bombshell. October 7th, 2022. The day that changed everything and accidentally created China's biggest opportunity. But then everything changed on October 7th, 2022. That's when the US Department of Commerce dropped what I call the tech blockade bombshell. They introduced the small yard, high fence strategy. And this wasn't just about raising prices. This was about cutting China off completely from advanced AI chips. The small yard refers to very specific critical technologies, and the high fence basically bans almost all exports of these products to China. They targeted Nvidia's high-performance AI chips like the A100 and H100, the software used to design them, and even the manufacturing equipment needed to make them. Now at first, this kicked off an intense game of cat and mouse, right? Nvidia didn't want to lose their second largest market, so they quickly designed China-only chips like the A800 and H800. These were carefully engineered to perform just below the legal thresholds. Chinese companies went crazy buying these up, every single batch Nvidia produced. But Washington was watching closely. By October 2023, they tightened the rules again, plugging every loophole. They even got their allies involved. The Netherlands banned ASML from selling their cutting-edge chip-making machines to China, and they even revoked licenses for maintaining existing machines. That's like selling someone a car and then refusing to let them service it. The comeback kids. Imagine your former employees becoming your biggest competitors. That's exactly what's happening to Nvidia right now. Here's where the story gets really fascinating. And this is where we see the unintended consequences of sanctions. Instead of crushing China's chip ambitions, the US accidentally created a protected, multi-billion-dollar market for any viable domestic GPU startup. Enter the comeback kids, three fabless semiconductor startups based in Shanghai, More Threads, Biren Technology, and MetaX. And here's the plot twist that reads like a Hollywood script. Many of their founders are veterans from the very US companies they're now trying to replace. More Threads was founded by Jianzhong, who used to be the general manager for all of Nvidia's China operations. MetaX was started by former AMD executives. Biren Technology, founded by former Nvidia and Alibaba people. It's like watching the students challenge their former teachers, right? With Beijing pushing hard for tech self-sufficiency, these companies have raised massive funding. Biren secured over $900 million, and by mid-2025, both More Threads and MetaX applied for IPOs, aiming to raise a combined $1.65 billion. But here's the reality check. Their IPO filings revealed they're burning through cash at an incredible pace. More Threads lost 1.49 billion yuan in 2024, with revenue of just 438 million yuan. MetaX lost 1.4 billion yuan, with revenue of 743 million yuan. This is a high-stakes gamble of epic proportions. The performance gap reality. Here's the uncomfortable truth that billion-dollar valuations can't hide. The performance gap is real, and it's massive. Now the billion-dollar question, how do these Chinese chips actually perform? Let me give you the honest truth here. The most notable domestic alternative right now is Huawei's Ascend 910C, developed with China's leading foundry, SMIC. Independent research shows that for AI reasoning tasks, it performs at about 60% of NVIDIA's H100 performance. That's actually pretty impressive for certain applications, but for demanding AI training tasks, NVIDIA still holds an undisputed lead. And it's not just Huawei facing this challenge. Startups like Biren made bold claims about their BR100 chip, but actual performance has been hard to verify. More Threads has released several GPU generations, but their chips still lag far behind NVIDIA's offerings in raw power. Here's the technical reality. Chinese foundries like SMIC can't use the latest chip-making machines, so they're stuck on older, less efficient 7-nanometer processes. That's several generations behind the 4-nanometer process used for NVIDIA's H100. It's like trying to race a Formula One car with a motorcycle engine. The clever workaround. Sometimes the best solutions come from the biggest limitations, and Chinese engineers are proving this brilliantly. But here's where Chinese engineers get really creative. If you can't build faster chips, how do you build faster systems? The answer lies in something called advanced packaging and the chiplet approach. Instead of trying to build one massive, complex chip, Chinese companies are manufacturing smaller, specialized chiplets on mature process nodes, then packaging them together with extreme precision. It's like building a high-performance engine. If you can't forge the entire engine block from advanced materials, you make perfect smaller parts and weld them together with microscopic precision. This isn't just a stopgap. It's a fundamental strategic pivot. Since China can't compete at the cutting edge of manufacturing, they're trying to shift value creation to areas they can control: packaging and integration. Meanwhile, the sanctions have created what I call a walled garden effect. Chinese tech giants, Baidu, Alibaba, and Tencent, have no choice but to buy domestic chips. They've been forced to become loyal customers, accelerating the development of a parallel, self-reliant AI ecosystem. The two-world future. We might be witnessing the birth of two completely separate tech universes, and that should terrify and excite you at the same time. Here's what's really fascinating. While Western AI labs follow scaling laws, believing bigger models and more GPUs lead to better results, Chinese companies are being forced to innovate on efficiency. They're focused on getting really good results from smaller, more efficient systems. This could actually become their competitive edge, making China a leader in AI efficiency. But let's be honest about the challenges. Hardware is only half the battle. The software ecosystem is the real fortress. Nvidia's CUDA took 20 years to build, while Chinese alternatives are still in their infancy. Even when Chinese GPUs can run CUDA code, it's often through translation layers that hurt performance. So, can China replace Nvidia? The answer is as complicated as the question itself. A simple no ignores the massive political will and funding Beijing is investing. A simple yes overlooks the huge technical hurdles that remain. What's clear is that the US sanctions, meant to deliver a fatal blow, have ironically become a catalyst. They've created a multi-billion-dollar protected market for Chinese chip makers. The next few years will be crucial. We'll see how the first mainstream AI services running entirely on domestic GPUs actually perform. The GPU quest isn't just a corporate battle. It could mark the start of a huge split, creating a world with two completely different, competing, and possibly incompatible tech ecosystems. In this world, the future of AI won't be written in one universal language, but in two. This story is far from over, and the implications will affect every single one of us. What do you think? Will China successfully break free from Nvidia's dominance? Or will the software moat prove too deep to cross? Drop your comment below and follow me for more such content that breaks down the tech stories shaping our world.